Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Strategic Command World War II, World at War, a turn-based strategy war game by Fury Software and published by Matrix and Slitherine Games. This is episode number 67 of our Allied Let's Play in this series, and the war's not going well. Moscow fell last turn, and Russia is on its last legs, forming a strong but probably still insufficient defensive formation around their final alternate capital at Perm. The Allies in the Pacific are doing a bit better. We took Truk a few turns ago. We're going to begin operations against the Japanese home islands before too long. Okinawa, the Philippines, Iwo Jima, the Marianas, all are in our control. But China's been overrun, and the Japanese are now threatening Burma. So, not a great situation. Meanwhile, the Allied invasion of the continent, getting a hex away from Paris like a year ago, has been driven all the way out of France, deep into Spain as well, as we're trying to evacuate troops from there. We just fought a series of major naval battles off the northern coast of Europe as well. Against the Germans, we're building a growing fleet, but that's the situation. This was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel from a couple of days back, so I'm actually going to go ahead and turn it over to that live stream rather than rambling at you guys for a bunch of minutes. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'll turn it over to the stream now. All right, let's go! Let's see what happens. Why? No cheering. The Office of Strategic Services has some contact with Spanish Republicans that could be made use of, the latter's ability to harm Franco's war effort. For a cost of 50 MPPs, the OSS will provide money, arms, and communication equipment to select Republican guerrilla groups, avoiding communists where possible. They'll also attempt to coordinate activities so that guerrillas will have a far bigger impact than they're currently having. Would you like to authorize the OSS to build on their links with the Spanish and Republican resistance? Yeah, let's do it. If they're going to take Spain back, we need to hurt their pocketbook. So let's do it. All right. So partisans rising up in Yugoslavia. Rise up. Rise up. Rise and strike. Rise and strike. Hit by rough seas? The Kent is hit by rough seas. Production level 2 for the British. It was about time. Can't you get to level 5 fighters already? I need it so badly. So we're probably looking at a June invasion of Japan. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, I need to... All right, so there goes those troops. Sorry, men. Oh, German battleships are attacking. The German fleet has engaged us in a series of battles in the... where? Dodger Bank? Hopefully this is not a bad Dodger Bank. Be a good Dodger Bank. We did destroy 2 German battleships last turn. I don't know how much that would really hurt their morale. It gives us national morale points in any event. Whoa. Where are they flying their men to? Toulouse. More German warships off of Bremen. I'm confused what their ships were just doing there. It just like made a noise like they were doing something. I don't know what. Hey, you want to use your Air Force against the partisans? I am 100% happy with that. Not that I want them dead, because I would have preferred them to stay alive. But at least you're not attacking me in Rangoon. Or Burma. Not Rangoon. Okay. Stupid V weapons. You guys suck. Wow, they just ran over that garrison like it was nothing. Also, why did they liberate Spain when they hadn't even destroyed or hadn't taken Madrid? They got to call Burgos their capital? They still haven't destroyed that army. They're sure driving it back, but they haven't destroyed it. Japanese there are trying to attack into Burma, or actually I guess that's the extreme western portion of China didn't succeed. Their cavalry, meanwhile, south of Sverdlovsk, didn't fare so well. We should be able to retake Archangel next turn. There goes the Sudanese infantry corps there in Iran. God damn you, heavy tanks. Yeah, Reener, I've never had the AI play another, like a friendly nation. Although you can do it, I haven't done it. The advance on the final stronghold in China has begun. That wasn't as disastrous a turn as it could have been. The Japanese sub just likes hanging out off New Caledonia. What are they doing? Are they just like... It sounds like they're moving, but they're not doing anything. Give me good weather so that my carriers can strike at their surface fleet again. Hey, that German tank unit was destroyed. That feels like the first German unit we've destroyed in a while. President Roosevelt dies. Is there any event where I get nukes? I could use nukes right now. I'm just saying. Battlecruiser spotted. So many units just hanging out. I don't know if I'd go that far, Hamish. The Germans still have more units than all the Allied powers combined. Okay, so... I kind of didn't want that to happen. All right. We're moving into the rear of the forces in front of Perm. Alright, reinforce these men. 4-2. That's the best I can do. Attack their air units! Nice. Granted, I just potentially exposed my... defensive line by moving units out of entrenchments. They're going to have to counterattack this 22nd Russian army heavily because we're basically front up against all their units there. Move these forward to Perth, to Perm. I said Perth, I did it! To Perm is what I meant. Okay. Operate these air units back to get them into defending the Perm area. Got the name right that time. Okay. I can't retreat. Hey, at least we inflicted on some casualties on their troops there. These guys are all dead next turn, but we inflicted some casualties on the 14th German Army down there. So we're pulling back from the Moscow front. I'm still surprised the Germans haven't driven on Murmansk. It's completely empty. And that kind of does it for the Soviets that turn, right? Trying to drive in their rear toward Orenburg and Magnotorsk. Hurt their supply lines up here. Maybe get into Penza. Unlikely. Fool's errand. But trying it nonetheless. Man, they're spawning a bunch of naval units now, Germany is. Flank them! Meanwhile, Spain, how's it doing? Alright, let's bring these reinforcements into Lisbon. I feel so bad. I'm bringing in the Central and South American Allied garrison units basically just to die. Yes, they are 100% cannon fodder. Just doing whatever I can to prop up my cause. Delay, delay, divert. That's the order. That's the name of the game right now. Just cram units in that take at least one turn for them to destroy. And that's one more turn of delaying. Because I need to buy time for the American headquarters units to pull out. Alright, we'll transport this American Army Corps to Sicily, actually. Alright, so Madrid will fall. Hopefully we can get that armored unit out. That's a valuable one. Alright, so I'll send Patton down to the southern route to Europe. I'm not going to unload him down there, but I'm going to send him down there to try and avoid those U-boats on the North Sea trade lanes. Alright, so we've got... Well, this is complicated. We've got good weather over the German targets. But all right, this is clear, I think. So this carried forward here. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Interceptors! Escorts! Jet fighter! Well, fuck. That carrier's air wing is gone. Don't worry, it's also adjacent to a battleship. Probably used all its movement points up, too. Yep. Alright, let's go for this heavy cruiser. There we go. That's the exact result I was hoping for. this destroyer should finish off that heavy cruiser. And it does. Good news there. Okay. That carrier has no coverage from the sky. This carrier's air wing's already been destroyed, so it has to pull back. Alright, we can hit this battle cruiser without fear because there's no enemy aircraft guarding it. I can pull this carrier back a little bit. Move this guy, move over here. Actually, we can hit him too. Let's go for him first. Alright, so we finished off that enemy naval unit. Alright, so we push that guy back. So our air wings have been absolutely devastated. But we did destroy 2 German capital ships this turn. So at this point, I think what I really just need to do is pull my carriers back behind a screen of ships so they can't hurt me too bad. And then if they want to come chase me, great. But my air wings are so shattered that I think I really need to spend the turn reinforcing next turn. So we destroyed 2 more German capital ships. That drops their navy. They were at 26. They're still at 26. So they're building warships like hotcakes. British national morale's at 61. The U.S. gets no bump either. Are the Germans losing anything with losing these ships? They're at least losing a good amount of income, but not even as much as what they're making. They're making over 1,200 a turn. It is a problem. They haven't even taken Russia yet. That's going to make it even worse. All right, we'll pull this cruiser back. It's not really needed there. All right, so we've got our screen around our carriers. We don't have a lot of fighter cover over those guys. Let's move some of these fighters east. I don't know if they've got the range to get there. Maybe. Upgrade those heavy tanks to 5. I mean, we could, again, we could... move that level 10 battleship this way. Still, it's nuts to me the Germans can withstand losing 2 capital ships in a turn and not be in the red for that. Yeesh. All right. Heavy cruiser, battle cruiser down here. Jesus. We're just flying a recon strike. So many interceptors. Well, there goes that maritime bomber. Never mind. How many interceptors do they have down there? All right, so there's no... threat of a German invasion at this time by the looks of it. At least not in the channel. Maybe at Brest. It's hard to tell. I'm going to pull the American units out to Sicily, though. Bring a headquarter unit down there. Let's make sure the Germans aren't building a fleet up in... Can't realistically get them further up the Adriatic without opening them to attack. Zippernick, thanks for the follow. Also, Screaming 101, thanks for the follow 5 minutes ago. Okay. I get it's a river crossing, but come on, these Japanese troops don't have any supply over there. What are they? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. All right. New American heavy artillery unit. So I think that does it for the Americas. I think that does it for England and Britain. Sorry. We also already did Russia. Russia should purchase some new units, though. So we can afford one army. China, I'm going to keep saving to try and get a new army near Umrichi. Alright, so it looks like Formosa is actually unoccupied. So I'll move to take that with this BAI unit. We'll post subs around Taipei to make sure if the Japanese try and reinforce, they're surprised. Is there a carrier out toward Hong Kong still? It is. That opens up an opportunity, perhaps. So they have interceptors on the Chinese mainland. But I got it! Alright, so just destroyed a Japanese carrier. My escort carrier lost pretty heavily, though. Also, it doesn't look like they have any troops in Hong Kong. Oh, shoot, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to throw them on amphibious transports, not transports. Graf Zeppelin, thanks for the follow. Okay. So Taipei is worth a little bit. So we could land at Fuzhou, at Amoy, at Hong Kong, at Haikou, or on Henan, firmly in the Japanese rear and cause some problems in China if the situation in the home islands doesn't work to our advantage. We'll upgrade that armor next turn, or repair that armor. Can we upgrade these guys? We can. Alright, so these Marines can be upgraded. Alright, that carrier still needs to upgrade its air wings. This guy needs to repair its air wings. That carrier is completely ready, so we'll send it west. This cruiser's completely ready, so we'll send it west. And then these two British cruisers will repair. It should only take one turn for them to repair. We should be on the verge of the invasion, or at least the attempted invasion of Japan. I'm really curious, again, like I know you've said multiple times in the chat that, I mean, I guess we could run recon and see. We'll lose casualties with our air groups. So Hiroshima has there's 2 ground units between Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So in all honesty, I think I could probably eliminate both these units on the first turn. Use my air units to destroy the fighter. Use my amphibious advantage to take both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Have a supply or an industrial center in Hiroshima, and then begin the advance up north into central Japan. No, Japan can't operate units across the water. I don't think. Be nuts if they could. Yeah, Hong Kong is empty. Right. Meanwhile, reports Japan's navy is back down to 5 vessels. What's Japan's national morale at? 42%? I know I need to get to Tokyo, Reener. I'm aware of that. My other thought process is I would do that, and then I would remount up some of my other units, because I've got like 8 of them, and then probably land up at Niigata with the headquarter unit, and then advance on Tokyo from the north to kind of split them. I don't know, we'll have to see what makes sense, but our fleet is gathering. The only problem is it's going to take my strikes to knock out these units, so like my amphibious strikes. So then I could still land them there, but they'd have to be unoccupied. I could also see if Hokkaido is unoccupied, but I doubt an industrial center would be. Okay, we'll move these guys up here. The air wings being under strength is going to bother me. Let's move the Indomitable back. We'll put it in Pearl next turn. Okay. We also can use the Australians to support as well. We've got an Australian headquarter unit with 4 Australian units. Those could actually be used to go after China. Actually, Hong Kong has a level 10 dock. That would be great to capture. I'm concerned about the land-based air. Without long-range transport, it's hard to get them in range without exposing them to air attack. All right, 440 or 470 for the British. Is there anything we really want to spend money on them for? We're already working on advanced tanks and air. Naval weaponry, we probably should upgrade. That's long too late. How is ASW not something I've researched as the British? You would think. Yeah. All right, so 446 left for the U.S. All right, so that's all we're going to buy. Another tactical air unit that'll arrive this fall. We've got a bunch of air units arriving and other units arriving in about a month for the Americans. Okay, so I think that's going to do that for this turn. Next turn will bring us into May. We've been playing for just shy of 2 hours. I think we're 3 turns in tonight. Let's do one more turn. One more turn tonight. So we'll move forward to May of 45 and see what is in store for us. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Strategic Command World War II, World at War. I guess the major event that occurred in this turn is we landed on the island of Formosa, or modern-day Taiwan, so the invasion or liberation of that island has begun. We've nearly taken the entire island. We'll probably finish it off next turn. Meanwhile, the fleet is almost done reorganizing and refitting at Pearl Harbor. We've begun forming the fleet out near the Marianas to prepare for the invasion of Japan. We'll have to do a little bit of recon. We'll also have to try and make sure we destroy that Japanese battleship, which is going to be a tough nut to crack because it is a level 12 battleship, and the stronger you are relative to your opponents, the more advantages you get. So we'll probably have to hit with air power, but that's also going to be tough because the Japanese are going to have air power, land-based air power, that's going to counter us on the home islands. So we'll see how things play out, and then we'll even see, I know some of the players in the chat here were talking about how difficult it is to take Japan because they crowd so many troops into a very narrow front, but I guess we'll figure that all out in the coming turns. Until then, however, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.